Yes, good morning, ME students. Am I audible and visible to all? Good morning, everyone. Okay, good morning, Shravdeep. Thank you, beta. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Anmol. Thank you. That means I'm audible and visible to all, right? Okay, see, thank you so much. Good morning, Arvind. Very good morning, beta. Okay, Ji. So in the last lecture, we did, I think we started with the virtualization, right? We're done with the virtualization. What is virtualization? And okay, I will ask you a poll. Just give me a minute. I'm sharing a poll to just make a remind of the previous lecture. Just give me a minute. I'm sharing a poll with you all. Okay. Yes, answer this poll first, everyone. How many types are of virtualization? Hurry up, everyone. Answer this poll. We have done this in the previous lecture, what is virtualization, and even we have started with the types of virtualization. I think few of we have done and some are left. Yes. Hurry up, Anmol, Arvind, Jatin, Ravinder. Don't search on internet. Internet may going to give you enormous answers. कि हर type की या इस type की किसी भी don't go for the internet answers. Okay. वहाँ पे you people going to get different. That's why I can see some of the students are saying कुछ, some of our students are saying this. Hurry up, everyone. Arvind, why it's taking so long to answer this simple question? But Arvind, Jatin, Ravinder, Sakshi, Shashwat, hurry up, respond to the poll. It's not that much difficult question. We just did it in the last lecture. Types of virtualization, very simple, common types of virtualization, the basic types of virtualization only. Arvind, Jatin, Ravinder, Sakshi, Shashwat. Am I audible to all? Why you people are not responding with Arvind, Jatin? Hurry up, respond to the poll. Sakshi, Ravinder, Shashwat, Jatin, Arvind, everyone, hurry up, respond to the poll. No one is responding. Still 5 students left. Hurry up, beta. Okay, 2 students said it's three types of virtualization, and 4 students said it's a 7 types of virtualization. 7 types. Who said 7 types? I will see that's a Meenakshi, Anmol, and Sahil. So as the Simran also. Simran, Anmol, and Meenakshi, Sahil. Tell me the 7 types of virtualization. Name the 7 types of virtualization. Hurry up. Hmm? Some are still not responding. Okay. Virtualization. Simran, tell me the names. Simran, Anmol, tell me the 4 types of virtualization. Sorry, 7 types of virtualization. Yes, hurry up. Nobody is answering the question. Why so? बताओ जी, how many types? 7 types कौन सी हैं? Tell me the 7 types of virtualization. Hurry up. Application, server, storage, network, desktop. Okay. These are 5. Still 5. Simran not completed the 7. You answered the 7. Hmm? Okay, I will tell you the basic types of virtualization that are only your first one is your hardware virtualization, OS virtualization, right? OS virtualization, and your second was your third was your, just give me a minute, that was server, and the last one is your storage virtualized. These are the 4 basic types of virtualization. It may contains all other your applications and all that virtualization, right? So these are the 4 basic types of virtualization that we have done in the previous lectures. Hardware virtualization, operating system virtualization, in which we just create the host, your operating system virtualization, in which we create 2 machines. One is your host machine, pay you create the guest machine, right? Right? And the server virtualization is there, and your storage virtualization. Sorry, OS virtualization is the one, the OS virtualization, you create this operating system over one, right? Hardware virtualization is the one in which we have a one host machine and we create the guest machine on it. That is your hardware virtualization that we have done in the previous lecture. And we are left with the these 3. One, even we are done with the OS also, but how does it work, that we are left with. Next is your server and storage. Basically only 4 types of virtualization, right? I told you not to select the answers from internet. It may shows you the all type of virtualization, like application key, tool key, सबकी virtualization बताएगा, but the basics are only 4 types of virtualization: hardware, OS, server, and storage virtualization, right? Okay, just give me a minute. I will be sharing a presentation with you. Just a minute. I think we are left over here only, right? Is that visible to everyone? Yes, ME students, is it visible, beta? Okay, Shardeep, thank you, beta. Thank you, Anmol. That's good. Okay, now you can see over here virtualization of OS. OS is further having steps through which with the virtualization it made possible, right? So these are the 5 steps through which the virtualization is made possible. First thing you can see over here, this is virtual OS virtualization server of yours, right? For firstly, it will send the VXC boot request over there and check the virtualization. It is basically one by one we will discuss, or the steps had that how OS virtualization is being possible, right? First is your PXE boot, that is your What is your PXE? What is PXE? Pre-boot execution environment. Pre-boot execution environment means first जो आपकी booting होती है of the operating system, that may take place over there, right? So second step is the your disk server checks the client whether it's a known client or not. You can see we will do the step by step. Firstly, I will tell you just the steps only, right? Second is to check the client. Second is the virtual disk connected to the client. Then after that, streaming to the client, and then additional settings over there, right? So now we can discuss it one by one. You can see over here, connecting to the OS virtualization server. So first step is what? First step is to connect to a virtualization OS जो आपका server है, right? With the connection, firstly we will start the machine and set up the connection with the OS virtualization server. Most of the product offer several type of methods that how we going to connect it, may contain different types of method that how we going to connect that virtualization server. So one of the most popular method is using your PXE service, that is your pre-boot execution service, right? So it will help you, but also a bootstrap is also used over there. So after that method, initialize the network interface card receiving the DHCP based IP and your connection to the server. Basically first thing is what, just we going to connect to the server, right? So that can be made through with these type of methods. So what is DHCP? That what is DHCP? You all have studied this protocol. This is basically a protocol, DHCP. Does anyone know what is DHCP? Dynamic host configuration protocol. That is the protocol that we use whenever the we are just connecting to any of the server IP address. So you all know that is a unique address. So this is the dynamic host configuration protocol that helps you to make the connection. Like even we are having this NIC card also that makes you to connect to a certain network. So first thing over here, virtualization, OS virtualization, my first thing is to make the connection with the servers who's having a virtualization, your operating system, right? So second is connecting the virtual desks, right? Second step is connecting to the virtual disk. When the connection between the client and servers is established, the server will look into its database, checking whether the client is known or unknown, right? And अगर वो known है या unknown है, and which virtual disk is assigned to that client, ये कौन सी virtual disk is being assigned, that you can see over from here also. In the diagram it was visible. Look, this was the second step, to check whether the client is known or known. If it's known or known hai, so which disk is being assigned to it, vi1 2 3 whatever it is. You can see from this small table over here, right? So this is your second step, to check the virtual disk. When more than one virtual disk are connected, then a boot menu will be displayed on the client side. एक से ज़्यादा will be assigned to that client, then there will be a boot menu that will be visible कि कौन-कौन से उसको assigned है, right? So the disk will connect it to the client, right? Next step is the disk will connect to the client, that जो हमने the one who's made the connection with the server, right? Second is we disconnected to the client after the desired virtual disk is selected by the client कि जो उसको चाहिए. If it's unknown, if the client was unknown and he just made a connection with the server, and after that the allocation of the V disk is being done, right? Or he or she, the client has being selected the particular virtual disk. That virtual disk is connected through the virtualization server over there. At the backend, the OS virtualization server make to ensure that the client will be unique, right? Same as we are having a network or any device on the network, they always having a unique IP address to identify it, right? So the same thing is over here in the virtualization server, right? The virtualized server may connect it to different clients also. Just with the this kind of identity vdisk is being assigned, it will identify that this client is the unique, right? Next is OS is streamed to the client. As soon as the disk is connected, the server starts streaming the content of virtual disk, right? Whatever the content, uski jo streaming hai, that will start making possible. The software knows which part are necessary for starting the operating system, right? So that these parts are streamed first. That means what parts of the software or what things or applications or bootstrap loader may jo bhi applications that are necessary to run the OS, that will be streamed first, right, out of the virtual disk to the client over there, right? So the information streamed in the system should be stored somewhere cache में कहीं पे भी stored. Some most products offer several ways to the cache the information. This can be your different methods through which we can cache it. That means what the required information to run a virtual server, that information or that data should be streamed first over there, right? Streaming means that means transferring or getting the data that is required to run the virtualized OS server, right? Next is your additional streaming. After the first part is streamed, then the operating system will start to run as expected. That how it needs to be run. Normal operating system, how does it work? So it's same as के normally start हो उसी तरह से उसकी working. So which additional virtual disk will be streamed when required for the running and running or starting function called by the user. So next step is whatever the request is made by the client or what type of functions he or she wants to perform, it will stream up according to that and will ask for the data or access the data from the server also. So we'll start properly acting like a normal your OS over there, right? Clear everyone? Next comes to your third, that is your server virtualization. What is server virtualization? Virtual machine or a software or a virtual machine manager. When the virtual machine manager is itself installed on the system server system is known as your server virtualization, right? So where it is, what is the usage? The server virtualization is done because a single physical server where can be divided into multiple servers on demand that can help for the load balancing also, right? When the single server is high on the demand on that time pay, it just being divided into smaller parts or smaller systems that can be distributed or used by the different clients or different users over there, just to balance the load over there. That small different servers are will be created independently. One physical server is there, we just divide that into smaller parts that act as an independent server, right? That can be accessed by the different clients also, right? So even it can helps in the to the balance the load also, right? So types of server virtualization, you might have seen these types of virtualization also. These are all the types of server virtualization. That's why I told you not to find out the virtualization types on internet. It may tell you different types, right? Now you can say server virtualization is of 5-6 types. Hypervisor, full virtualization, para virtualization, operating system also comes in your server virtualization, because server itself is a one system that has a huge amount of data or operating system also. So in that manner, what we have to do when you are creating the independent server out of a one server, then again you have to make that systems as an independent system. For that you require operating system to run it independently, one system or a server, right? So that's why it comes under server virtualization or server virtualization also. Then hardware assistant virtualization, right? We may divide the hardwares that this server ke jo small part of the servers also, they may require the hardwares also. So according to them also we have to virtualize, done the virtualization. Kernel level virtualization, internally the bootstrap loaders and the kernels key virtualization should also be done, right? So all these are what types of server virtualization. When you are creating a virtualized server out of a one physical server, maybe we are creating different small servers just to balance the load. For that we have to require all these types of virtual, right? So don't just get confused. The basic types are only 4, out of further we are having these types of virtualization, right? So basic are only just your one. First was your hardware virtualization, OS virtualization, server virtualization, and fourth one is your storage virtualization, right? So what are the advantages of server virtualization? When we are just creating independent servers, what are its advantages? First one is independent restart. That means we don't have to work when we just working on any system. So वो क्या करेंगे, independently as a one system work करेंगे. So in the server virtualization, each server can be restart independently and does not affect the working of other virtual servers, right? Like if we are working on a one server and we are changing doing some changes on that, on any of the file, it may affect the complete data over there also, right? If somebody is accessing, somebody is doing changes, the clients are even sending the request multiples, so it will be difficult to handle the huge amount of data on a one server. So just to make it more concise, simple, we just create the small server, or we can say divide the one server into virtual servers also, so they can independently work and fulfill the requests of their clients also, and they work independently, right? So first advantage is this. Second is low cost. एक ही सर्वर में से we are creating different servers so that we can serve multiple clients at the same time also. So low cost is also there. Disaster recovery. That means what? We have already, if we are working on a one server, all the data is being stored over there. It's a common case. वहाँ पे server का कुछ crash हुआ, then all data will be lost. But when we just have created some small virtual servers also. So it's just not that एक का खराब हुआ है, एक का system खोया है तो बाकी भी हो जाएंगे. No. That means what? Rest of the servers will work properly. Faster development of resource, deployment of the resources. Virtualization allow us to deploy our resources in a simpler and a faster way also, right? Even when we are just creating these virtual servers, in that we are having a part of server assistant virtualization, server assistant will sorry, hardware assistant virtualization. अभी हमने देखा था ना types of hardware sorry, types of server virtualization में, in that we are having one is your hardware assistant virtualization, right? So that may contain the hardwares that are being divided or given to a certain server only, so it's easy for them to provide their resources. They don't have to wait कि दूसरी resources को छोड़ेगी या client उसको छोड़ेगा, then we have to buy it, right? Or we have to take it. So that is also easy. Security, allow the users to store their sensitive data inside the data centers also, right? So that is also the big advantage of it, right? Next comes to the disadvantages. There might be certain disadvantages of server virtualization also. The biggest disadvantage of the server virtualization is that the server goes offline. When this server goes offline, all the websites that are hosted by the server will also go down. That means एक certain server पे certain websites are being hosted. अगर वो server ही down हो गया, that means what? Everything goes down over there, right? Just like you can see हमारे यहाँ पे this for example just say that centralize this जो आपका BB है, that is being supported by some outer organization है, कोई American or something जिसकी ये है product. So अगर वहाँ पे उनका server is just being down, तो क्या हो जाएगा हमारा BB out. Sometimes we feel this situation that backend say we are saying the connection is perfectly fine, we can see check the bandwidth of connection and it's working finely, but BB work नहीं करता. Why? Because there is a issue at the back end of their server. उनका server down हुआ तो उनकी website जो वहाँ पे work कर रही है वो भी down हो जाएंगी, right? So this is the one disadvantage. And there is no way to measure the performance of virtualized environment. One more thing, a disadvantage is that we cannot measure the performance of virtualized environments, right? Instead of we are having these physical systems or physical things available over there, we can check how they are performing or what's their performance measurements, right? But that's not possible with the virtualized servers. So next is it requires a huge amount of RAM consumption also. That is also because when we are creating a big server and उसको हम divide कर रहे हैं small servers में virtualized servers create कर रहे हैं, so that's why it requires more RAM, right? It is difficult to set up and maintain also, and even it's a difficult task. Creating small servers, small virtualized servers, it's a big task, and even the maintenance also, right? Even it's difficult to maintain these virtualized servers. Some core application and database are not supported by the virtualization, right? some core applications. Like some of the applications, we can give you the example also, like that are being hosted by these centralized server only. So उनको divide करना, या if you can say that we have a centralized database also. Centralized database of one database is being created with the server, उसको divide करना, yeah, that is not possible, and that's why we can say that it doesn't support certain applications or databases by the virtualization, right? We can divide the OS, we can divide the space also like this. But some applications or like this data is being centralized, maintained over there, that is not being supported by the virtualization, right? It requires the extra hardware resources also, right? If we can say that hardware assistant virtualization be also comes under server virtualization. So that means what? We require more resources, right? Hardware resources more कैसे required? Because independently more RAM is required, या आपके कोई ऐसे devices हैं जैसे for example we have attached one printer to the server and it's not being installed to the other, so for that we require the different printer for that also to fulfill their requirements also. So like this we require more hardware resources also. इस वन थिंग इज अगर एक डाउन हुआ तो उसकी सारी वेबसाइट्स डाउन हो जाएंगी, परफॉर्मेंस मेजरमेंट इज नॉट देयर, more RAM consumption is there, difficult to maintain and even setup करना, उसको maintain करना is one of the big tasks also. Some of the core applications are not being assessed, even the centralized database and all that is not being supported by your virtualization server, and hardware resources are more required. So these are what disadvantages of your server virtualization, right? Clear everyone? Next comes to your storage virtualization. What is storage virtualization basically? Okay, thank you Shardeep, thank you, and more bit. Okay, next comes to your storage virtualization. What is storage virtualization? The process of grouping the physical storage from multiple network storage devices so that it looks like a single storage device. That means we are just grouping up the storage devices from a multiple networks, different network space. We just pick up the storage devices and make them look like a one single storage device, right? So it is basically implemented by using software applications. As we know that there has been a strong link between the physical host and the locally installed storage devices, right? So basically this storage virtualization is made possible only through with the certain type of applications or the softwares, because through which we are just accessing the softwares of different type of different storage available on a different networks also, right? So, however, the paradigm has changing drastically. Almost local storage is no longer needed. That means what? Local storage, or we can say the storage that is available near to us or in their system, that is not being supported. That's why storage at some other end, जहाँ पे we are having the just example of cloud also, that we just store our information to some other location, right? Some other network, secure network where we are just storing our data. That is one of the form of your storage virtualization. That means what? We Let's us assume that we are having 5 different networks, and 5 different network may say through application we just connect all their storage and make them look like a one storage space, right? So we may have different server locations at different areas also, right? So we just through the use of software we can just connect them and make them possible. अगर एक पे storage space नहीं है तो half of the data can be stored anywhere else. But for us, we are sitting in a Chandigarh, for us it seems like that our data is stored on a server only, but we don't even know that it's just not that it's stored on a one location like on Delhi or something only, but it may store certain on the other location like somewhere in Mumbai or whatever over there, right? So for them it seems like it's stored over there, but it have the different locations also, right? So the major component for storage server in the form of functional RAID. What is RAID? Can anyone tell me what is RAID? What RAID acronyms for? Yes, anyone? Yes, anyone? RAID हमने पढ़ा, आपने पढ़ा हुआ है पहले भी. Read. इतना टाइम लगाते हो दैट मींस साइड बाय साइड इज जस्ट प्लेइंग द इंटरनेट खोलो वहां पे रेड लिखो रेड एक्रोनिम्स फॉर एंड इट विल जस्ट कम गिव यू द आंसर राइट hurry up tell me what I read acronyms for redundant array of independent disks yes मिल गया अनमोल okay redundant array of independent disks that means what the disks that we have already previously discussed that OSMA virtualization of disks are being done so here we have that storage virtualization for the storage of data we require the disks also so it works on the principle of this RAID levels right different RAID के levels भी हैं when you're going to write it it will show you the RAID levels also right so redundant array सेक्शन जो प्रॉपर आपको शो करेगा एरे ऑफ डेस्क्स over there just to maintain the storage so OS system and application with the device can access the disk directly by themselves for writing also right even through the OS we can just write directly the disks over where we have to write the data basically you can assume that the array of disks are being created through this different levels where the storage through on which can be made possible over there right next is your storage virtualization more and more becoming important in the various other forms also what are the other forms in which your storage virtualization is becoming popular is first one is your file server right file server that means operating system writes the data to a remote location also with no need to understand how to write the physical media that means what at any location pay anywhere we can write the data right so your OS ke through we can write it place your data to any server so that can also be considered as your file server right WAN accelerators instead of sending multiple copies of the same data over the WAN environment. WAN escalators will cache the data locally. That means instead of sending जब हमारे पास WAN है that means wide area network. Accelerators are what are some of the data that need not to be every time sent or the multiple copies we are sending over there. Instead of that, it just locally cache the data and present the re-requested blocks at the LAN speed. That means कोई भी किसी को चाहिए तो वहां से इट कैन नीड एनीथिंग इट विल जस्ट कैश इट एंड जो भी उसके इंटरनली डेटा के जो लैन में within a same network पे वहां पे it can fulfill their request the re-request or the blocks at the same speed पे impacting that means जो आपकी instead of WAN के जो high speed networks है उन पे it's just to make not slowly it will internally cache it and fulfill the requirements of the local area networks over there right next is your storage tiering, utilizing the storage pool concept as a stepping stone. That means what storage tiering analyze the most commonly used data and place it on the highest performing storage pool. That means what it's just create a pool of store resource, a pool of files or the storage material. So which one is most frequently required or highest performing storage? This may scope the most you can say that commonly used data will be stored in that pool so that it doesn't need to be again reload and over there so it can be easily used so it just creates जो सबसे frequently used होते हैं उनको place in the mm, high performing storage pool over there so lowest used data is placed on the weakest performing storage pool so जब से ज़्यादा use होते हैं तो उनको place will in the highest performing and जो कम use होते हैं will be placed in over there so this is how it just creates a tiers of the services that can be or you can say the data that can be most frequently used is placed over then the less and so on right next comes to your advantages of storage virtualization. What are the advantages? Data is stored in the more convenient locations away from the specific host. If in case a host failure, the data is not compromised. That means अगर host failure भी हो जाता है तो data won't be lost. It can be covered because it's stored somewhere else over there. Storage devices can perform advanced functions like replication, reduplication, and disaster recovery also. These are the basic functions that are being performed by the storage devices. By doing abstraction of the storage level, IT operations become more flexible in how storage is provided, partitioned, and protected. Basically, in the sectors of IT field, they just store their data and create a abstraction means the required part is visible, rest is being hidden over there, right? So that's why it is more you can say frequently or flexible for the people who are working in IT companies and over there, right? They can easily partition their storage or the data to store the information, right? So these were your types of virtualization. Anyone having any doubt, you can ask it. Anyone? If anyone is having any doubt, you can ask, because we are left with one more of your topic, same as of your virtualization के implementation levels है. So if we clear है, very good. So I will just make that presentation visible to you all, but these are not visible to us on BB. Okay, I will do that, Shardeep. I will make it visible to you all, but so I will just मैं आपको बता देती, just give me a minute, मैं visible ही कर देती हूँ, just a minute. I think I may, it's not visible. All the content, all the PPTs, everything is visible to you all. So there is one topic that we are left with. So you all have to do it by your own. If you find any difficulty in that, you can send me a message or call me anytime. You people are having my phone number also, but all the content is available over there. Because now onwards we are not going to. Your MST is also starting from 11th, right? आपके MST भी 11th से start हो रहे हैं या नहीं? 11 से ही है सबके, right? I'm just making all the content or the everything is visible to you. Just give me a minute, okay? Okay, now you can check everyone and let me know whether chapter 2 content is visible to everyone. Just check and acknowledge me whether it's visible or not. 11 says starter. Okay, now tell me that content of chapter 2 is visible to everyone or not? Visible? Okay. Okay, we are left with one more topic, that is all same of your virtualization, the levels of virtualization and your memory wala virtualization. So that you all have to do it by yourself. Or if you want me to do it full, then we can conduct an extra lecture. Because 11 because we are having the lectures on Friday and Saturday only, so Friday Saturday will you people will be having MSTs, so not possible नहीं होगा. So एक ही chapter हमारा एक ही वो रह गया topic, that levels and virtualization वाला ये same. So just go through it. If you find any difficulty, then let me know. We will conduct a lecture on any day, Tuesday, Wednesday, कभी भी we will conduct, right? So you want me to conduct one extra lecture, or you can do it by yourself? Yes, tell me. All the content, PPT, everything is available to you. If you want me to conduct the lecture, I will conduct an extra lecture for you. But if it's okay with you, you can prepare, do it by yourself, then it's just tell me whether you need it or not. We'll do it. If we face, we will contact you. Definitely, Shradeep. Anytime, anytime. If you find any difficulty, but what about the rest of the students? It's just not that everyone just go for a one student's answer. You all have to tell me. Is it okay with everyone? because you people are grown up child and you can do it. Yes. Anmol, okay? Okay, what about the others? Arvind, Meenakshi, Sakshi, prepare by. Okay. Okay. Male, okay? Good. Okay. So no worries. Simran, okay? Okay, that's very good. Okay. फिर भी अगर किसी को कोई भी doubt, all is well? Okay, Arvind. Okay, that's good. So फिर भी if you find any difficulty, just let me know. We will conduct any time, कभी भी we will conduct the lecture, right? So आप मुझे Tuesday, Wednesday में कभी भी बता देना. आज उसको एक बार go through हो लेना, right? जो topic रह गया हमारा उसको एक बार go through हो लेना. So अगर कोई difficulty लगती है आपको, you can tell me any time. हम evening में कभी भी lecture conduct कर लेंगे, extra lecture, ठीक है? So levels ही हमारे virtualization के just but keep in your mind your virtualization is very important topic, right? So उसके questions आपको आएंगे exams में, so it's important topic, so अच्छे से पढ़ ले, right? Or everyone is done with the quiz also? I can see, I just saw that I made the there was a quiz of yours on cloud, so everyone is done with the quiz or not? 10 submissions are there. Arjun, why you have not attempted the quiz? Arjun, Jatin, Arjun and Jatin, why you people have not attempted the quiz, beta? Yes, I just saw your everyone's performance. That's really very good. But I just want to ask Arjun and Jatin, why you people have not attempted the quiz? I have network issue. I will attend today. Attend today, तो वो आपका late submission हो जाएगा, Arjun. टाइम पे अटेम्प्ट करो चीजें बेटा. आई कैन सी द मैं प्री एक क्विज 1 आई जस्ट सॉ. लेट मी सी द क्विज 2 आल्सो. सो ऑल यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट योर जितनी भी आपकी एमएसटी या यूनिट 1 की असेसमेंट्स हैं उनको कंप्लीट करना है बेटा. बाद में दे विल डिलीट. द सेम विद द क्विज 2 एज वेल. क्विज 2 में भी I can see only the 2 students are left. One is Arjun and the other one is Jatin. Yes, Arjun and Jatin. बेटा आपने quiz 2 भी नहीं attempt किया. So complete it by today only. Okay. After, because I have to submit your marks or upload your marks also. So complete it by today only, so that बाद में आपको कोई issue ना आए कि आप बाद में कहो कि मैम marks नहीं लगे and all that, right? उसको complete कर दो. हाँ जी. And one more thing, I've just asked you people about the term paper. Term paper, have you decided your team or you selected your topic or not yet? हाँ जी. Arvind decided the topic. Anmol, Arvind, Sakshi. अभी तक डिसाइड ही नहीं किया. सम ऑफ योर क्लास स्टूडेंट्स ने पेपर बना भी लिया है. यू नो दैट. टर्म पेपर भी बना के मुझे सेंड कर दिया है. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू नेम दैट स्टूडेंट, बट फिर भी रियली गुड एफर्ट. रेस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स अभी वेट कर रहे हो. जल्दी से डिसाइड करो. डिसाइड योर टॉपिक एंड प्रिपेयर योर पेपर. इट्स सबमिशन कंपल्सरी है, सो डोंट टेक इट लाइटली, राइट? अनमोल, मीनाक्षी, हो गया डिसाइड टॉपिक? अनमोल, what is your field? In which field you, I mean to say, you are interested? Meenakshi, आपका भी decide हो गया. That's really good. What is your field, Meenakshi? or you just this take is just for the time that you are showing me that man time over हो गया. Hmm? ओके कोई बात नहीं, फिर से भी यू पीपल आर हैविंग एग्जाम, डिसाइड कर लो बेटा अपना टॉपिक एंड नॉट येट, दैट्स रियली पुअर मीनाक्षी. कब डिसाइड करोगे बेटा? डिसाइड करो और प्रिपेयर करो अपने टॉपिक्स. आपको टर्म पेपर सबमिट तो करना ही है किसी भी हाल में, राइट? And we have been told that we can make one good research paper and get it published in Scopus Extra instead of making term paper of all. Yeah, the same thing is I'm telling you, Shardeep. You have to make a good research paper. वही term paper है आपका, वही टर्म पेपर है. तभी तो ये बोल रही हूँ कि आप डिसाइड कर लो अपना टॉपिक और अच्छा सा रिसर्च पेपर बना लो उस पे. वही बोल रही हूँ. आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू टर्म पेपर आपको अलग से देना है और रिसर्च पेपर अलग से देना है. नो, आपको टॉपिक अपना डिसाइड करना है. यू टू और स्टूडेंट्स भी एक पेपर पे वर्क कर सकते हो, राइट? एक टॉपिक डिसाइड कर लो, 2 स्टूडेंट्स आप उस पे 2 पेपर बना सकते हो और दोनों में एक का फर्स्ट का ऑथर का नाम हो गया, दूसरे का सेकंड ऑथर हो गया, दूसरे पेपर में दूसरे का फर्स्ट ऑथर हो गया, दूसरे का, इस तरह से 2 पेपर आपके नाम पे हो जाएंगे. सो थिंक लॉजिकली, राइट? ओके देन दैट्स ऑल फॉर दिस लेक्चर. थैंक यू बेटा, थैंक यू सो मच. एंड प्रिपेयर कर लेना अपना वो टॉपिक और बताना मुझे इफ यू फाइंड एनी डिफिकल्ट. वी विल कंडक्ट द एक्स्ट्रा सेशन. ओके.